Everyone, today class we will discuss about the magnetism, right? Do you know the who invented magnetism and what is magnetism, right? You are all aware about these things. You are studied all these basics of magnetism in your high school, right? So magnetism is a property of a material which produces magnetic field and attracts magnetic materials like iron, nails, some of the materials, right? So in this chapter we will discuss about the what is magnet, what are the properties of magnet, and basic things, basic you can say that basic terminology are totally alphabets of magnet. In this chapter, we are going to study about the alphabets of the magnet. We are not entering into the derivation parts or high technology involved in this magnetism or the where the magnetism is involved. For example, in electromagnetism, electricity and magnetism, combination of these two, electric field and the magnetic field, we will discuss lot of things. We will do the mathematical equations and calculations in that area, but in this class just we learn about the basics of magnet and magnetism. Here you are aware about the magnets. uh, Hope you are all played with the magnets. So magnet is a object or a material which attracts the bodies, a object which is capable of attracting steel, iron due to production of producing magnetic fields. See this, you all played with magnets which attracts to the iron. Normally we played with a iron piece and we played in a sand. You put a iron of a coin shape, like coin, 5 rupee coin. uh, the magnet is available when you almost all available in the market as toys. They use these type of magnets in the toys and somewhere. And for the round shape magnet is available in the back side of speaker, right? And this bar type magnets and u-shaped magnets are called as a uh, horseshoe magnets. These magnets initially discovered at the Asia Mannar area, Magnesia. A shepherd going through a way to the hills. Then the shepherd shoes nails of the shoe attracted by the stones. So he got confused, he got scared, and he uh, shared his experiences with his friend who is works in a scientific society in his village or that area, right? So thus the person who observed this and they discovered that these stones are having some attractive property for some of the materials, right? So it's a property of the metal, property of the material which attracts the iron, steel, some of the magnetic, the some of the like materials, right? uh, that is called as a magnetism, the property of that stone to attract the magnetic materials like iron, steel, uh, and some of soft irons. This property is called as a magnetism. The material which has that property is called as a magnet, right? Observe here, you put a bar magnet or any type of magnet in a sand. You observe the small pieces of a iron soft iron rust attracts by the magnet. You can see that this in this picture, right? Here every magnet having two poles, one is north, another one is a south. So these magnet is a object which is capable of producing magnetic field and attracts unlike poles and repels like poles, right? What is magnetic field, what are the unlike poles, what are the like poles, we will discuss later on. Are the property of any object by the virtue of which it can attract a piece of iron or steel due to the producing of magnetic field is called as a magnetism. Here magnets are the natural and artificial magnets are available. Natural means which are the magnets which are developed by its own, by the nature. The natural magnets is a ore of an iron, Fe3O4. It's a ore, iron ore. It has a magnetic property, right, which attracts small pieces of iron, cobalt, nickel, steel towards it. It's a natural magnet. This magnetite or lodestone is a natural magnet. Natural magnets are available in the nature. These are the iron ores. These are the ores of iron which attract some of the like materials, and these are the magnetite and lodestone are called as a natural magnets. And we have artificial magnets. So artificial magnets means magnets which are made by the people, made by the humans, is artificial. A magnet which is prepared artificially, it's a artificial magnet, right? For example, bar magnet is made, or horseshoe magnet is made for our requirements, as per our requirements, as per our required size and shape. We are making the magnets. The man-made magnets are called as a artificial magnet. Example, bar magnet, electromagnet, magnetic needle, horseshoe magnet. These all comes under the artificial magnet which are made by the man for his usage or for his requirements. So the horseshoe magnet, magnetic needle, these magnets are having some unique properties. They are having some unique properties, right? So what are the unique properties of these magnets? So a magnet is an attractive property. This property proves that the magnetic strength, attractive property, the magnet attracts magnetic materials. The magnetic material means a material which is having magnetic property like cobalt, nickel, steel, iron, right? All the most of the metals having the magnetic property, they attracts each other. And the magnet having the two poles, the magnet has two poles. Magnet has two poles, the same poles. For example, here north and south poles are the magnetic poles. You see this here, north and south. Here this pole is attracting some pins, and north and south poles are repel each other, right? So this property gives attractive property, proves that the magnetic strength at the end of the magnet magnetic pole is strong. So you observe this figure, the iron ores at the south pole and north pole. See this is the north pole and this one is the south pole. At these places the iron ore is more, right? See these areas, in these areas less iron pieces are there. So the attractive property of the magnet shows that it has a more strength at the poles, and it has a directive property. This property, directive property, when you suspend a bar magnet into air, suspend bar magnet in air, then it shows the north pole and south pole of the earth. So this property helps us to understand which pole of magnet is south and which pole of magnet is north, right? So it shows the directions of the north and south, which pole, which is the direction of north, east, west, north, south. So here when you suspend a bar magnet in air, it shows, it comes aligns at the north and south poles of the earth. So by that you can understand that which direction is north direction, which direction is south direction. By that you can understand, you can exactly find the directions where you have to go. In ancient period, this directionality property of the magnet give a strong basis to uh, move through the oceans, the directions, to know the direction, to find the ways on the ocean. It gives the, it helps very positively. So due to that property only, the Chinese people developed a compass, the magnetic compass or magnetic needle, which shows the direction of north and south of the earth. And it, the magnets repels like poles and attracts unlike poles. Here the magnet is having two poles, north and south. So north repels, south repels, but north and south attracts, right? So this is the, they attracts north and south, they repel south and south and north. And pair property, when you cut the bar magnet in two pieces, when you cut the bar magnet into pieces, for example you are cutting this bar magnet into pieces, then this red piece shows the two north and south, and this blue piece shows the north and south, right? So the magnet has a pair property. When magnet is cut into pieces, the each and every piece will have a north pole and a south pole. You never divide these north and south poles. If you cut the number of smallest pieces, then also it exhibits the north and south poles. Here every molecule of a magnetic substance, whether magnetized or not, is a complete magnet itself according to the molecular theory. This pair property given by the you can explain or understand by the molecular theorem. Each and every molecule of a bar magnet or a magnet exhibits the two poles or pair. They are having pair of two poles, one is north pole, another one is a south pole. And the shoe test of magnetization, this test conducted to check if a given rod or a given piece of metal is magnetized or not by checking either the attraction or the repulsion of iron rod and magnet. For example, you are having you have given a iron rod, and you want to know whether the iron rod is magnetized or not. So when you bring a bar magnet north pole to the nearby the iron rod, then if they attracts, means the one side of for example, this is the iron rod. Say this is the iron rod, and the bar magnet is given to you. It is north and south bar magnet. If you are bringing this bar magnet to nearby the iron rod, if it is attracted, then you can say that this bar iron rod is magnetized, and this side is south and this side is north. If it is repelled, if it is attracted, then you can say this side is north and this side is south, and this iron piece is magnetized. If it is not, it is repelled, then you can say that this is north and this one is south, and this one is magnetized. But if it is not attracting or repelling, then you can say that the given piece of rod is not magnetized. These are the unique properties of the magnets. So magnet poles exist in pair. Whenever magnet is suspended in mid-air, it always shows towards north and south directions. Like poles repels, unlike pole attracts. The magnetic force between the two magnets is greater when the distance between the magnet is less. If the distance is increases, then it force of attraction decreases. This is given by the Coulomb. In next session we will discuss about the Coulomb's equation of this force, magnetic force, extensively, right? So we have the distinct properties, unique properties of the magnets, so you can use these magnets in our day-to-day life. Magnets can be used to construct a magnetic needles or mariner compass. Magnetic needles used in our labs, you all seen these magnetic needles of spherical, cylindrical, and north pole and south pole. This symbol, arrow symbol, shows the north pole. Some needles, it is given like this arrows, and north pole is represented by putting a dot, right? So mariner compass shows the when you are traveling through seas or oceans, then it shows the north and southern directions. So that is the mariner compass, which shows the directions used in traveling in oceans and seas in boats. And permanent magnets finds application in generators. We are using the magnets in generators, electric accelerator, electric motors. In all the electric fields we are using the magnets. And electromagnets having the applications in the speakers, electric bells, electric cranes, whatever the electric components we are using, like bells, speaker, cranes, we are using the electromagnets. And magnets are used to separate the iron filling from the solid mixture. When you have a solid mixture and it is mixed with the iron, then you pass through this mixture through the bar magnet or magnetic field or magnet, then the iron is attracted by the magnet and the solid mixture is separated from the total mixture, right? So here we are using magnets in every field. You are all away the magnets where we are using, and you are played with the number of magnets, right? So here we have a different type of magnets. So these magnets are a man-made, means permanent, artificial magnets. Artificial magnets are made by the man-made man. Some of the magnets are the permanent magnets. Some of the magnets are the temporary magnets. Some of the magnets are the electromagnet. We have these three types of magnets: permanent magnet, temporary magnet, electromagnetic magnets. So permanent magnet means a magnetic property when it is magnetized, then the magnetic property never loses. It the property of the magnetization or magnetic property remains with that particular material, so it's a permanent. So retention of magnetic property is more. After longer periods also the magnetic material does not decreases, and due to the external effects like applying some external force, external tension, temperature, then also the magnetic property of the body or the magnetic property of that particular magnet does not changes. It is a permanent magnet. And some of the magnets uh, are the temporary magnets. When you magnetize any steel blade, you know the blade which is used for saving and cutting, right? So that blade, when you magnetize it by the touching with magnet, it remains temporarily. You touch a normal pin with a magnet, it attracted with the magnet, and that magnetic pin uh, attracts another normal pin. So the magnetic property between these two pins is temporary, right? So after some time or by the external effect the magnetic property losses for that magnet. That type of magnets are the temporary magnets. And some of the electromagnets are magnets which are consist of coil wrapped, right? So permanent magnets, those magnets are commonly used magnets. They are permanent magnets because they do not lose their magnetic property once they are magnetized. When you magnetize a material, it becomes a magnet, then its magnetic property longer lasts. So how to, we here you can demagnetize the permanent magnets, exposing magnets to extreme temperatures. The magnetic attraction between the magnetic atoms gets loosened when they are hammered. Stroking one magnet with the other in an appropriate manner will reduce the magnetic properties. Here we have the four types of permanent magnets: some ceramic or ferrite, alkino, samarium cobalt, neodymium iron boron. Here, this neodymium iron boron, samarium cobalt, alnico, ceramic or ferrite, these are the permanent magnets. We can reduce the magnetic property of this permanent magnet by exposing to extreme temperatures and hammering, right? And stroking with inappropriate manners will reduce the permanent magnetic property. So the next, temporary magnets. Temporary magnets can be magnetized in the presence of a magnetic field. When the magnetic field is removed, these materials loses their magnetic property, right? So iron nails and paper clips are examples for the temporary magnet. Here the magnet is north and south magnet. The one paper clip or the needle is attracted by this, and another paper clip is attracted by this, and another paper clip is attracted by this. So when you remove this magnet, then there is no attractive force in between these. When you remove this magnet, and no attraction in between these. If the magnet is there, there is attraction, right? So here the material is getting the magnetic property due to the presence of magnetic field. That property, so this type of magnets are called as a temporary magnets. These temporary magnets are used for the temporary purposes only. So next one is electromagnets. Electromagnets consist a coil wrapped around the metal. For example, here see this. This is a material, iron soft, and a coil is wrapped around the magnet. Here current is passing. When the material is exposed to electric current is passing through this wire, then magnetic field is generated, and this material behaves like a magnet. This material behaves like a magnet, right? This type of magnets are called as a magnetic electromagnets. It is totally wounded with a coil, and in that coil the current is passes. Due to the electric field, the magnetic field is generated, then the material behaves like a magnet. These magnets are called as a electromagnets. The strength of the magnetic field can be controlled by the electric current. You want the more strength magnets or more magnetic field, then you have to increase this input current, electric current, then the magnet is a stronger one. So the strength of this magnet depends upon the current given passing through the coil or wire, right? Here we already know that the magnet are having two poles. So which one is the north pole, another one is the south pole. So what is the magnetic pole actually? When you dip a magnet in iron filling, you can observe that the fillings attracted at the ends of a bar magnet. So two side ends, that ends are called as the poles of the magnet. A region at the end of the magnet where the external magnetic field is stronger is called as a magnetic pole, right? You observe this here. See, at this point the more iron fillings, and here also more iron fillings. See, observe these places. So these are called as a magnetic poles. So magnetic poles having greater strength to attract itself. The strength of the magnet or magnetic pole to attract magnetic material towards itself is called as a pole strength. Pole strength of north and south poles of magnet is conventionally represented by plus m and minus m. So here, for example, this is a magnet. See, this is the magnet. The pole is represented by m. So this is one, this is another pole, m2. So conventionally the n is taken as plus and s is taken as a minus. So magnetic pole does not exist in isolation. These poles does not exist in isolation only in equal and opposite pairs. They exist always two pairs. One is north pole and south pole. Always they remains north and south. These poles never separated. If you cut this magnet into pieces, then each piece of magnet shows the north and south. They never separated. That is a unique property of the magnet. So here the magnet is having some length. See this is the length of the magnet. Here this is the size of the magnet. So these magnets is actually, this is a magnet. So from north pole to south pole, the distance between two magnetic poles is south to north. Distance is called as a magnetic length. Actually, the length between the ends of the piece or the material is more than the distance between north and south pole. So physical length or geometrical length is more than the magnetic length. Magnetic length is defined as the distance between the two magnetic poles. Here this magnetic poles distance is calculated from the center. So for example, center is taken as O. The ON is a L and OS is also 1L. Then the L plus L distance from the midpoint to one pole and midpoint to another pole. So 2L is a distance between the north and south poles. That is called as the magnetic length is represented as a 2L. Right? So while solving the problems, don't get confused. The length of the magnetic length is 10 centimeter is given in a problem. So some of the students are confusing and they are writing the data like magnetic length 2L equals to 10, therefore L equals to 10 by 2 equals to 5, and they are substituting this length value, half of the value, in the problem solving formula. Then they are getting wrong answers. So the whatever the number given, that is equals to 2L. No need to do the half, right? So thus the effective length is twice the length of the magnet. So this is the magnetic length or length of the magnet. Here the magnet having magnetic power. So up to how much distance the magnet attracts. For example, I'm here holding a magnet and a iron piece is at your place. So observe this length is nearly 2 meter, 1.5 or 2 meter. Then will this iron piece is attracted by this magnet? No, maybe it is attracted, depend upon the size and power of the magnet, right? So when you bring the two pieces near, they attracts. Observe that, for example, magnet is here, this is the magnet is here, and iron piece is here, then it attracts. If you take back the iron piece, now iron piece is here, then also attracts. Now you take it to this distance, no, it is not attracting. So up to here only it is attracting, right? So this magnet attracting up to this region, right? So this is the area the magnet is having its influence, right? This is the area the magnet is having its influence. This is called as a magnetic field. How much area around the magnet has magnetic force, it has influence how much area it is covering. These magnets, all the magnets have two poles. when, right? So field strength is, magnetic field is a field, the area around the magnet that has a magnetic force up to certain area, certain distance, it attracts the other attracted by the other magnet, or attracts the magnetic material, right? This force is generated, aligned atoms created a magnetic field. When you rub a piece, north 6 poles of atoms in the iron lines up with the same direction, right? So in this area the magnetic effect is there, the magnet has force, that area is called as a magnetic field. So magnetic fields are two types. One is a uniform magnetic field, another one is a non-uniform magnetic field. Another one is a non-uniform magnetic field. So in this magnetic uniform magnetic field, the magnetic field lines or the magnetic field strength is same throughout the region. For example, this is the magnetic field. It has a effect north pole and south pole. So at every point, take every point, it has equal field strength, equal force of attraction or equal force of repulsion, equal force of attraction or equal force of repulsion. So it has a, at every point, wherever you take, at all the points the field strength is same. The magnetic lines are parallel like this, then this field is called as a non-uniform uniform magnetic field. Uniform magnetic field magnetic lines are parallel. Magnetic force experienced by a object is same. For example, here a iron piece is there, or here you take this 1, this 2, this 3, this 4, this 5, all the pieces experiences the same equal force in that field. Such fields are called as a uniform magnetic field. So example for this uniform magnetic field is bar magnet strength is greater in poles. That is a non-uniform magnetic fields. So non-uniform magnetic fields, the region is non-uniform. It has the field force or the field effect, the magnetic effect, magnetic force is different at different parts. For example, you take here this equation, this magnet, here this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, right? This is 5. At these places the field strength is effect is more, at this point decreases, at this point still decreases, at this point decreases. So at different points different magnetic field effect is there, different strength is there on the material. This type of magnetic fields are called as a non-uniform magnetic field. The field lines, magnetic field lines are not uniform, like converging, diverging magnetic fields of the most magnets are the examples for the non-uniform magnetic field. For uniform magnetic field, they has the same magnetic property, magnetic strength in all the points throughout the field. These are the two types of magnetic fields. One is a uniform, another one is a non-uniform. The lines between north and south poles are the south north poles. Attractive four lines are, these lines are divergent lines. This line, the field strength is not same in throughout the field, that is called as a non-uniform magnetic field. So here we have a magnetic lines of forces. Magnetic lines of forces. What are the lines of forces? So magnetic line is a imaginary line which starts from the north pole of the magnet to enters to the south pole. Its imaginary line starts from north pole of the magnet and goes to the south pole. It is a visual tool used to represent a magnetic field. They describes the direction of a magnetic force on a north monopole at any given position. The density of line indicates the magnetic field strength. The magnetic line is a field lines are the visual tools which are used to represent the magnetic field. They are the used as a tool to represent magnetic fields. They move from north pole, right? It shows the direction of the movement of the north pole in a magnetic field. In which direction the magnetic field is moving, what is the field strength of that monopole of north pole, and the density gives the magnetic field strength. These curved lines used to represent magnetic fields. Drawn such a number of lines relate to the magnetic field strength gives given point and the tangent curvature. See here, this shows the lines direction of the north strength of the north pole, which is moving in a magnetic field. If the north pole of the magnet and south pole of the earth, north pole of the magnet and south pole of the earth is, then bar magnet's north pole is put towards the north pole, then you will get a different pattern of the lines. And when you put a geographical south pole and the magnetic north pole, then you get a different pattern of the magnetic pole. So it shows that the field strength is different in these two conditions. When the north pole of the magnet is placed towards the north pole of the earth and north pole of the bar magnet is placed towards the south pole of the magnet, it shows the different patterns. You can see we have practical based on this magnetic lines of force. You have to draw these. So coming to the, what are the characteristics, what are the magnetic lines, how they are moved from one to one. So magnetic lines seek the path of least resistance between opposite magnetic poles. These lines are imaginary lines, starts from north poles, goes to the south pole, outside the magnet. In air they move from north to south, but inside the magnet they move from south to north. Inside the magnet they move from south to north. They are high density, having high density at the poles and less density at the middle area. That's why the density, they are curved paths. They are curved paths which shows the direction of a moving north pole. The magnetic lines of force lines never get intersected, never cross each other, because if it crosses the two lines, for example, a line is coming in this direction and another line is coming from like this, north pole and south pole, here they get intersected. If they get intersected at any point, it shows it has two directions at one point. It is impossible to having two directions for anything at a point. So the tangent of a line shows the direction of a moving north pole. They are all having the same strength, they never get intersected, due to it is impossible to having a two directions at a single point, and their density decreases. They spread out when they move from a area of higher permeability to a area of lower permeability. The higher permeability area is a poles area, and lower permeability area is the mid area of the bar magnet. The density decreases with increase of the distance from the pole. If the magnetic material or the another pole is far away from the for this one, and the density or the force of attraction or force of repulsion decreases, they are considered to have direction as it flows through no actual movement occurs. They flow from south pole to north pole outside the magnet, and inside the magnet, sorry, they move flow from south pole to north pole within the magnet or within the material, and they move from north pole to south pole outside the magnet, or it is in a air. These magnetic lines of forces are closed curves. The closed curves. Similarly, you have the electric lines of forces. The electric lines of forces are open. Alright. So these are the properties. They are the closed one. They are imaginary lines. They are stronger field at the poles, and the lesser fields tangentially they move away from the uh, material or the magnet longitudinally, right? The density decreases, have same strength, and they never get intersected with each other. These are the characteristics of the magnetic lines of forces. So these are the basics of magnetism. So the what is, so we are having the field, magnetic pole strength, field strength, uniform, non-uniform fields, and characteristics of lines. These are the some of the basics about the magnetism. In next session, next class, we will discuss about the how this magnetic field and how the two magnetic materials get interacted, get attracted or get repelled. What happens, how the force changes when the like poles repels and unlike poles attracts. What is the dipole, what is the unit pole, and how the field strength changes when a unit north pole is placed in that particular axial line or equatorial line, right? These are, and what is the torque when it is placed, a magnet bar magnet is placed in a uniform magnetic field, and how it behaves like when you place it in other magnetic fields, when you place it magnet in a electric field. These effects will be discussed in next session or next class, right? Hope you got the concepts and understand the basics of magnetism. Thank you everyone.